All right, so today what I wanted to talk about is how to get fit because I feel like today there's a lot of confusion on how to actually get there, okay? Because you have one version of people who think that getting fit is super, super easy, meaning that today is for me is March 7th and they could be looking like a movie star within 3 months. All right, so that's one version. Like it's so easy that within 3 months, if you take a couple of pills, take a couple of supplements, you'll look like, Hugh Jackman from Wolverine or Captain America or Scarlett Johansson, just like that. And then on the other side, there's more of the body positivity movement, okay? Which is like embracing who you are, which I like the idea, like embracing where you're at now and being okay with being obese or being unhealthy. And I don't know where this thinking is going. Like, I like the idea of body positivity, but the idea of staying unhealthy, like, embrace where you're at, accept where you're at, be happy where you're at. And I like those ideas. But from there, you got to do something about it. All right. So, I wanted to talk about how to actually get fit. Okay. And it's super, super simple. It's actually pretty easy, but it might not be as easy as you think. All right. It's also hard, but it's not as hard as you think. All right. So I've been doing this for a long, long time. So personally, I've been working out since 2009. All right. So I've been training myself since 2009 and I became a trainer in 2014. I was in the military from 2009 to 2013. I trained other people there. It was like group fitness, but not really so much professionally as like a personal trainer. And I want to give you guys 14 plus years of knowledge, like right now, like within the next minute or two. Okay. So this is what I've learned in 14 plus years of training on how to get fit, lose weight and build lean, solid muscle. All right. And here it is. It's super, super, super simple. All right. You're going to want to have a resistance training program you do 3 to 5 days a week, which means lift some type of weights. All right. And you want to have a program where you stick to it for at least 6 months. All right. Unfortunately, today it's getting a little bit confusing because when people think of working out, they think they have to change up their routine every single workout. When a certain brand company came out, it was called, I don't want to name the name, but this guy came up with a term called muscle confusion. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's really no such thing. Like, I get the idea, but there's no such thing. You can't confuse your muscles. Your muscles don't have a brain. All right. So, my teacher used to say, if you want to confuse your muscles, whatever your program you're doing, just put more weight on the bar. All right. So you're going to want to have a resistance training program you do 3 to 5 days a week. Okay. Stick to it for at least 6 months. And I guarantee you, if you're doing this, you're going to put on some type of muscle and make sure you increase the load and increase the weights every single week. Okay. Another thing, get 6 to 8 hours of high quality sleep, which means that you're gonna want to wake up and go to sleep the same time every single day, even on the weekends. Now, this is something most people do not like to do, because most people have jobs, they wake up early, they're going to a job that they don't like, then they got to be in bed at a certain time Monday through Friday, and then Friday comes around, they want to, stay up late and go out and party and drink. And by doing this, you're throwing off what's called your circadian rhythm, and it's going to really, really mess up the quality of your sleep. Because sleep is super, super, super important. It's probably the most important thing, especially when it comes to recovery, learning new things, having a strong immune system, all of that. So you're going to want to get 6 to 8 hours of high quality sleep. And you do this by going to bed the same time every single day. All right? And wake up the same time every single day, even on the weekends, please. Another thing you could do, eat higher qualities of food in less quantities. I'll say it again, eat higher qualities of food in less quantities. All right, it's not that complicated. It's really not. Another thing, go outside, go for walks, get some sunlight, be active, and just overall just move. This is really, really how simple this is. Like, if you just chose to Google how to be fit and healthy, literally Google will give you a plan. And if you just follow the plan, and if you just chose to do it, commit to it, which most people probably won't, but if you did, like all of these benefits will happen. Things like, you'll have more energy, less aches and pains. You'll be more confident in your parents, more and better sex, not as tired. Overall, just more optimistic about life. Like all of that. Like I literally just gave you my 14 plus years of knowledge in like the last, what, 3 to 5 minutes. This is seriously how simple it is. And I tell people this all the time. I tell people how simple it is. I have conversations with a lot of people because they always ask me, how do I lose weight? How do I get rid of this? How do I get this or get this? And then when I give them the answer, they're very, very disappointed because I tell them something very super simple, almost borderline boring. And I tell people this all the time. But instead of focusing on that, the few things I just named, they focus on this, things like this, like, I don't have the time, because they want the quick fix. So either they don't have the time, they're not motivated, they don't want to go to the gym, they don't have the energy to work out, it's too complicated. Another thing I hear all the time is their metabolism is slow, that's why it's harder for them. They say all of these things. It's complicated, it's hard. Blue, how about this? I'll try next month. I'll try next year. I'll try next week. It's like, one of the things I like to say, who's promising you next week? And these are the things that people focus on, as opposed to just focusing on the 3 to 5 things I mentioned earlier, such as lifting weights, eating higher qualities of food in less quantities, getting sleep, things like that, go get sunlight, all these super simple things. But they focus on the many excuses instead, or they look for the quick fix. And like, the road to success is super, super narrow. I heard a saying the other day. It was like, many are the ways to death and destruction. Today we have unlimited amount of choices, particularly if you live in America. We have so much freedom to do whatever we want, which literally makes it a prison, I would say. Like, for instance, I'll give you a great example. Like, if I was to go on Netflix right now and I didn't know what I wanted to watch, because once I open up Netflix, and because I have so many freaking choices, and I'll just keep looking and looking and looking and keep scrolling, trying to find the perfect video, movie, or whatever, it'll probably take me 40 minutes to an hour just to find something that I want to watch. And it's the same thing with something like people who order food on Uber Eats, and they'll literally exhaust me. As opposed to if I just go in there with a simple plan, all right, Netflix, I'm going to watch this, or choose the first thing I see and follow it. It's the same thing with getting fit. It's super, super simple. It's actually really, really easy as well. But it's, again, not as easy as you think, but it's also not as hard as you think. It's in the middle. Like, you don't have to go to the gym, or you could literally get in shape at home, because I did it during the pandemic. I stood in amazing shape during the pandemic when the gym was closed. But you could literally, just choose 3 to 4 exercises and stick to that and do that 3 to 5 times a week and just increase the load, whether it be more repetitions, more time. It's that simple. I can't stress this enough. And I tell people this all the time. But unfortunately, like I said, they always focus on the excuses. So if you're one of those people who's trying to get fit, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. This is what I would love for you to start doing. I want you to go to a place where you could observe other people, particularly maybe at work, maybe your friends and family. I want you to observe other people, and I want you to listen to people who complain. Now, to me, it's much better if you observe yourself, but it's really, really hard to do, to observe yourself, because we tend to rationalize. We tend to rationalize with our excuses. We think like our excuses, the reasons we give are very, very straightforward. We tend to rationalize too much. But if you go out and you listen to other people, you could clearly see what they have to do. Okay, so what you do is you observe other people and find somebody who's complaining about why they can't be fit or healthy and talk to them. Ask them things like, find out what their lives are like. Ask them what kind of foods do they eat? How often do they exercise? What do they do on the weekends? What kind of job they have? Ask them these questions and listen to them. And listen to the reasons they give you why they can't be fit. Like, you'll hear the things like I mentioned earlier, my metabolism's slow, it's easier for you, it's too complicated, eating healthy is expensive, all these things they'll say. But listen to them. And when they give you the answers, like for instance, let's say they say something like they can't get in shape, they don't exercise. Instead, they play video games all day. Ask yourself, what else could they be doing as opposed to playing video games all day? What could they be doing in the house? Or if they're shoving horrific foods into their body, like fast food, if they eat fast food every single day, ask yourself, what else could they be eating that will give them like a pile of energy, make them feel better, give them vitality? What else could they be doing to lose weight? What foods could they be eating? And then from there, recommend it to them and follow up with them. See if they actually decide to do it. And if they don't do it, ask them why. What are some of the reasons why they didn't do what you asked? And listen, because it's going to be a great experience for you, because you're probably going to hear a lot of yourself in them if you're a person who's having problems trying to get fit, or anything, for that matter. Because for me, like, I'm having problems. I have a lot of excuses when it comes to like running this YouTube channel, running an Instagram page, starting a small business. I have all these excuses that seem rational, and I'm making it way, way harder than it has to be. Okay, so you might discover the same thing when you're talking to these people, like, wow, this is me when it comes to this. And from there, what you could do is turn it on to yourself, especially if you're having a hard time getting fit. Because I'm telling you, it's super simple. You just gotta focus on a few things. Lift some weights, okay? Get 6 to 8 hours of high quality sleep. Eat higher qualities of food in less quantities. You might ask me, what is that? Google it. What are some high quality foods that I could eat that will help me lose weight? You'll be surprised too that you don't even need it. When it comes to eating to lose weight, you don't even have to eat high qualities of food. You could literally eat fast food and still lose weight. That's a shocker, ain't it? Because it's really more about your caloric intake. Like, how many calories are you taking in? And I've had clients who never changed their diet as far as what they eat, but lost weight because they just lowered the quantities. For instance, if you have a large fries and a large soda every single day, you drop it to a medium and a medium, you're gonna lose weight. And if you drop it to a small and a small, you're gonna lose weight. You also figure out how much eating is actually, like, when you say you're starving, you're not starving. I could promise you, you're not starving. Because I've done a fast for like 3 days before. And I remember the first day I was starving, but by the third day I was fine. Eating is just habitual. You just want a state change. Your body just craves a food, a emotion. It's an emotional addiction. I think most of us know this though. And like I said, it's not abstract. Getting fit is actually pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Unfortunately, the fitness industry, they've made it seem more difficult than it actually is. Like, you always see these motivational videos with somebody doing some crazy battle ropes and they're jumping, and it's always some fit guy with abs who's doing a routine that he never actually does in real life, but it looks cool because that's what grabs our attention. It's like, oh wow, cool, it's some military style stuff, because we get excited with that. But the amount of energy they're expending and the amount of calories they're burning, they're not burning as much calories as you think. And they're not fit because they're doing those workouts. I can almost guarantee you. They're not fit because they're doing those kind of workouts. So please just Google how to get fit and healthy. And whatever the plan is, choose one thing, especially when it comes to working out. Find the program and stick to it. Commit to it. And I'm telling you, your life will really, really change, man. And you might not be fit bod. Like you might not look like Wolverine or Scarlett Johansson, but you'll be a better version of yourself and you'll be on your way to feeling a whole lot better. Now, I understand I just vented here because, I do have this conversation with a lot of people and it does get frustrating. I understand where they're coming from because that's where I'm at right now when it comes to running a small business. Like, I'm making it a whole lot harder than it has to be. And if you find like you're doing this too, this might be a great video for you. It's like I said earlier, it's a few things. Lift weights, 6 to 8 hours of high quality sleep, go to bed the same time every single day, wake up the same time every single day, even on the weekends. Eat high quality foods in less quantities, get more protein in. And you'd be shocked how the weight does start to come off. You do start to build muscle. You don't have to run on the treadmill for hours at a time. Like, to me, cardio is like stupid when it comes to losing weight. Like, actually jogging and running, it's good for your heart, but actually jogging is not the way to lose weight. It's just eating less calories. Because, it takes maybe, if you run a mile, you probably burn 100 calories, right? But if I just sat here for how long it took you to run that mile, I probably burn like 40 or 50 calories just sitting here, because your body's always constantly burning. So you can't, if you're eating too much, man, you're not going to lose weight, no matter how much exercise you do. All right, so I know a lot of you guys need help. I'm thinking about creating some workouts for this channel. I don't know yet, but getting fit is simple. And once you get the ball rolling, you'll be shocked at how easy it actually is. Like I said, it's not as easy as you think. Like with some people here, like take this pill and you'll be super, super fit. That's what the fitness industry does to us. It makes us think like, oh, if I take the protein shake and the pills, I'll be super shredded and I'll look like the guy on the box. It's not that easy, but it's also not as hard as you think, where you got to be in boot camp style. Just have a plan, stick to it, come up with some reasons on why you should be doing it, project yourself into the future. Like, if I don't get in shape, what does my life look like? Because right now, after what happened in 2020 with COVID, it's not the time to be unhealthy. We saw what happened to people that were unhealthy and got COVID. They didn't end too well. Okay? So take care of yourself. Follow the advice. Until next time. Again, if you need help, just send me a message. I don't know where I'm posting this, but send me your email. Maybe I can link up with you and we can figure something out. All right? Peace.